Hi everyone, welcome to the Rangers Reviews pre-match briefing live in the Ibrox press room. Myself and Chris Jack here as always to talk you through the Rangers team to face Aberdeen. We'll take it right up and then get through the talking points, discuss the bench, how Aberdeen line up and what stands out from Philippe Clement's selection. So as you can see in front of you, no real surprises in the back four. Jack Butland is behind a back four of Tavernier, Goldson, Suter and Ridvan. A little bit of a surprise in the midfield. Not sure many people predicted this. Certainly not me. Lundstrom, Campbell and Lawrence. I'd imagine it's more of a 4-3-3 than a 4-2-3-1, as we kind of saw against Kilmarnock at the start of the year. McCausland and Matondo on the wings as expected, and Dessers does come back in for Fabio Silva, likely a pre-planned thing. You'd imagine as Clement looks to build up match fitness between all of his different options. And on the bench for Rangers, McCrory, Silva, Cortez, Sterling, Scott Wright, Barisic, King, Diomande and Nico Raskin, interestingly enough. So strong bench to choose from. Aberdeen line up Roos, Devlin, McKenzie, Shinney, Jensen, Gartenman, McGrath, Barron, Miovski, Clarkson and Hayes in what is, of course, the first match for Neil Warnock. Right, Chris, I guess the main talking point is that Tom Lawrence comes into the midfield. I think he's been bright from the bench as of late. This is probably a game where Clement thinks Rangers are going to have a lot of the ball. So good to see an adventurous choice in the midfield, something that we've routinely talked about for the last couple of seasons, and that certainly looks like a midfield that's going to try and play forward.
It's not a midfield that we selected at all. We did our team. I think we just assumed that it would be Raskin for Jack, and that would be the only midfield change. As I say, it maybe looks like a change of shape slightly as well. There's a lot of talk ahead of the game at Rangers needing 3 goals to go top of the league. I don't think that'll be part of the manager's thing. I don't think he's selected a slightly more attacking middle to front, thinking, well, if it's more early we can go and we can get 3 or get 4 and go top of the league. He's picked the best side that he feels to go and take the game to Aberdeen and win the game first and foremost, to get the 3 points first and foremost. But it is certainly an attack-minded side. Lawrence and Cantwell in there, there's plenty of creativity in there. There's potentially a goal between them as well, you would think. Also, Dessers for me is a surprise, but I think certainly that midfield 3, it's got legs in terms of Lundstrom, but it's got that real kind of guile and that creativity in terms of Cantwell and Lawrence. So fingers crossed Rangers see more of those two than they do John Lundstrom, because that would certainly indicate a flow of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Lawrence has not ever really started consistently for Rangers. It's always been a case of what type of player is he, how much can he impact things domestically. So looking forward to seeing him tonight, Chris. As you say, I'd imagine it would be instead of either of Campbell or Lawrence being an out-and-out number 10, would imagine that off the ball Campbell's the one who plays higher, with Lawrence slightly deeper, but on the ball that reflects more 2 number 8s and 1 number 6 in there. The other main talking point, I guess, is Cyril Dessers. Now, we both thought that Fabio Silva would start. Obviously, you'd imagine that Clement is rotating that regardless of performances, maybe unless Silva scored a hat-trick, then he'd have had to play him. The last game here was only 3 days ago, so it's not as if they've had much of a turnaround. If this is a game that I think a lot of people are expecting, and I think a lot of people are expecting a game where Aberdeen play to their strengths, which is that they're strong defensively. Warnock, obviously, in his first game, you saw their first half against Celtic, where I don't think they got into the final third much at all. And maybe that this is a team selected with that in mind. I know Silva played well against a deep defence at the weekend, but Dessers is still in a good vein of form. He's probably more of your poacher type of player. Maybe it's a case of Clement trying to just suit his lineup to the opposition a little bit. But as a lot of people are saying in the comment section, and as Stevie and I talked about this morning, it's difficult to predict a Philippe Clement team at the moment, isn't it?
As I also do wonder if the selection of Dessers, it's just another small show of faith in him. It's not him saying to Dessers, look, I brought this guy in January. He's number 1 through that in that position. If he plays well and he scores, if he's going to stay in the team, I think it could actually be quite smart man management. I'm saying to Dessers, look, you will get your chance. He's going to need Dessers over the course of the season. He can't afford to. I spoke so much at the start of the season about his confidence levels and how much of a confidence player he looks.
Yeah.
The best way to keep those levels high is to give him games, give him match minutes, and hopefully get himself more goals. If Dessers was to go a couple of games and say starts 2 or 3 in the bench and then comes off, gets chances like he had at the weekend and should have done better, but he doesn't take it, is there then a danger that those confidence levels are getting chipped away a wee bit? So I do wonder, as much of it's maybe a fitness thing, and man just clearly keen to rotate in certain areas and clearly keen to give guys as much game time as possible. I do wonder if there's just a bit of the man management in there as well. And that's something I think a number of the players have referenced that over the course of the manager's reign so far. Is about bringing everyone together. It's not just the 11, it's the guys on the bench, it's the guys in the stand, it's everyone around the training ground. There's this feel-good factor, this collective of everyone pushing together. And I do wonder if that's maybe part of, as much as Dessers brings something different to the side, and then come up maybe feels that it's better suited to the game. I do wonder if there's just like a man management aspect in there as well.
Matondo and McCausland predictably continue on the wings, but that bench, Chris, I'll get it up in front of me again. It's strong, isn't it? It's got options. You've got Cortez, who obviously played half an hour and looks pretty bright on Saturday against Livingston. Diomande, who wasn't on the bench at the weekend, trained on his own last week, but has since trained with the squad. He could feature as well. Interesting that Nico Raskin's on the bench. Again, Stevie and I spoke about him this morning. Do you think that's fitness related? Do you think it's just because Lawrence has been good and merits that start? What's your sense on that?
That one's probably more tactical. I think if it was so you look at Lawrence coming in, potentially a change of shape in the midfield there. I also wonder if the way that the midfield is likely to line up, does that make it easier for Diomande if the time comes he can maybe he can slot into one of the Cantwell or Lawrence positions. We know he can play slightly deeper, he can slot into a Lundstrom one. So I wonder if it's not thinking the manager again thinking too far ahead, saying no, we'll be 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go and I can go and throw Diomande on. But I think that midfield shape could be the one that suits Diomande slightly better, so it's maybe a chance for Rangers to have a look at it to see how it works here tonight. But I think there's definitely. I don't think it's been a classic season so far for Nico Raskin.
No,
I think his form has been
very stop-start. His
form has been patchy. He's also had his injury problems in there as well, which has not been ideal. I think it probably shows where he is in terms of starting games right now. I don't see there being a good clamour for him to be in the side. I think people were more excited to see Diomande off the bench and would be to see Nico Raskin off the bench, and that maybe shows where he is in the pecking order at present.
Yeah, Steve and I spoke about it this morning, Chris, and I think he's in that similar category to Cantwell, who's hit 3 goals in 4 games, and there's been a lot of scrutiny on him this season. Both have suffered injuries in their the first full season. Both haven't really hit the performance levels that they did at the start, and obviously there's a difference between when you initially impress and initially try and make some sort of an impact. And people can see you're a good player to then going in imprinting yourself and running games week on week. So agree that the Raskin hasn't quite done that this season. I still think he'll be an important player over the course of this season, and important that Rangers actually have some midfielders, because that has not always been the case.
It's a welcome change. It's easy to forget. It's not that long ago since we've been talking about playing Sterling in there. Good to see him back on the bench incidentally. Again, it's just another option in an area of the side that was so devoid of options not that long ago. It's now looking strong. There's different formations as we've discussed. There's different types of midfielders the manager can play to really suit almost any occasion, whether it be against Livingston at Ibrox or whether it be in a European game away from home. There's now various different options in there, and it's nice to see the squad looking a bit healthier and a bit fitter all round.
Big game as a feeling of a big night at Ibrox. You can't ignore the fact that Rangers could go joint top tonight, because that felt ridiculous a few seasons ago in the context of this season. The focus, I'm sure, will just be on winning the game. Chris, what are you expecting? We don't always do this. I'll press you for a score prediction. Not a first goal scorer, but how do you see this one playing out tonight? And do you see a game where I kind of feel, I know it's a bit cliche, it might be one of these games where Rangers come out and use the atmosphere and really put the opposition under pressure, or it will be nervy and it will take a long time to find the opening if they do it all? How do you see it?
I think there's been this debate online. I've seen a lot of chat in the last couple of days online about make Ibrox like a European night. It's got that kind of feel about it of big crowd, big night feel around about it. Fans driving the team on, team then feeding off that. I would like to see Rangers start really positively, go on the front foot, try and take the game to Aberdeen. If it score early on, you know what the atmosphere in here is like. I think the longer it goes on, people will start getting a bit nervous. Ultimately, the most important thing is Rangers pick up the 3 points. If they win 1-0, it's job well done. Everyone goes home happy. I don't think the manager and the players will be focusing too much on the 3 needs to go top of the league, but it's only 4 months since the manager came in. They inherited a really difficult situation in the league. Yes, it might only be symbolic, but symbolism can play a big part in title races. Momentum plays a big part in title races, and while we probably expect Celtic to go to Easter Road tomorrow night and pick up the win, and then also re-establish that gap, we could be sitting here again in 7-8 days' time. Rangers have no chance to go top of the league. So if it doesn't happen tonight, fingers crossed it happens next week against Ross County. But hopefully my optimism is not misplaced.
Yes.
I do fancy Rangers to get the job done and to be top of the league come 10 o'clock tonight.
Symbolism is important in a title race. It's a great line, and I fully expect it to be in your instant analysis tonight. You can read, folks, everything from the game. Stay up to date with our coverage on our social media channels. Chris and I will be live after the press conference, which you can watch here on our YouTube channel. You'll have instant game analysis. You'll have follow-up tomorrow as well. Loads to come in the Rangers review. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're a member on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe for free, and do give this video a like because it helps us keep doing them. Until then, enjoy the game wherever you're watching it. We'll speak to you after. Bye for now.